hmm 1 Peter 4. For as much then as Christ hath suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that hath suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lusts of men, but to the will of God. For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revellings and banquetings and abominable idolatries, wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. Now in verse 5, who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead? 4:4, is that correct? That doesn't really sound right. You know, I was having a discussion with an individual about some of these grammatical errors of the Bible. Yes. And to have for this cause, for this cause. Yes. Should be a comma there, maybe. Yes. For this cause was the gospel preached. Does anybody know who put the chapter and the verses in the Bible? Yeah. I think it was originally written without the numbers, the chapter and the verse. Yeah. Now, I almost got involved in some gambling yesterday, and I said, sure, I'm going to find out because every time I see in for for this cause, for this cause, was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to God in the spirit. Yes. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. And above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. Now use hospitality one to another without grudging. Yeah, I really like the idea of hospitality. I wanted to get myself a little place. Maybe the Palace of Peace in The Hague, kind of fix it up and turn it into my own personal residence. Why don't you get me the Netherlands? And then there's that ranch that George and his wife had 20 miles down. You know, the Bush family's going to find that I am going to take their assets, and I don't give a shit who you are. You understand, George? Now, I'm going to want to use hospitality one to another without grudging. And your personal residences, I'd like to make available to myself. And for any president that might still be alive that said, well, you're not taking my house. Every piece of legislation that you signed while in office, you have a special responsibility to make sure that it's enforced. But when you had knowledge of the taking of my sons kidnapped and hostage, yes, because nobody wants to enforce the power of the United States that is vested in those that are judges, I think I'm going to take your ranch, George. Yes. So what? Well, I'm going to use it without grudging the hospitality of those that I invite over to be my